It's 4:30 and this is WKYT This Morning. 5 people are facing charges in what Richmond police say was a kidnapping and assault. One of the accused talks to us from jail. Ahead on WKYT This Morning.
Over 30,000 people ran in the Boston Marathon yesterday. WKYT's Sean Moody talked with 2 Lexington runners.
And the Jessamine County babysitter accused of abusing a baby in her care will go in front of a grand jury. We'll hear from the family of the baby coming up on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Hello there. Good morning from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's Tuesday, and you know what? I'm feeling good today.
Yeah, good.
It's one of those days.
19th of April.
Yes.
Beautiful weather. There's nothing to complain about there. We're talking about getting back into that 80-plus degree range once again today. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we had 84 yesterday for an afternoon high there at the Bluegrass Airport on the west side of town, and it felt great. I mean, I will tell you this, it was a little bit warm, and you know what? We're going to do it all over again today. Sitting there in the 50s early this morning, but by the afternoon, 82 degrees, slightly less than what we felt yesterday, but nonetheless, I mean, we're still well above average. No record in the forecast again today, but that's about 15 degrees above average. We're going to do it again tomorrow, roughly 80 degrees, and then we'll start to see that rain push in along with the cloud cover, and that'll drop our temperatures just a bit. We need the rain, and I'll show you when that comes in just a few minutes.
We'll see you in a bit, and we thank you. Let's get to the news.
Police say she had injuries all over her body. Now 5 people face charges in connection with what Richmond police are calling an assault and kidnapping.
And police tell us that the group lured the woman to an apartment. There, they beat her and threatened her to get some information. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked with one of the accused.
Police say when they met with the victim, she had 2 black eyes. One was swollen shut with bruises and knots over her entire body. Did you do that?
No, I did not.
In an interview from jail, Candace Brannon says she, Justin White, Michael Walters, Aaron Estel Bradshaw, and Jordan Cornelison did not do what they're accused of.
We did not kidnap that girl. It never should have went that far.
Police say the victim in the case was lured to an apartment on Hampton Way. There, police say White and Brannon would question and assault her when she denied that she gave information to police about a recent shooting.
I could really go to prison and lose my freedom and be away from the people I love the most.
Brannon admitted to the terroristic threatening and assault charges, but she says she never kidnapped anyone, and neither did the other 4 suspects. I asked all 5 suspects for an interview. Only Brannon accepted. She says she's friends with the victim. She says they did get in a, quote, altercation, but believes the woman made up the rest of the story to get back at her.
Justice has not been served because I feel like my word doesn't mean nothing compared to what one person is saying.
In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Brannon says that her first court date is tomorrow. She says her bond is set at $100,000.
A Central Kentucky man is accused of hiding the corpse of a Wisconsin man believed to have been murdered last year. The Mercer County Sheriff's Office says they have arrested 61-year-old Clarence Hicks. Police in Wisconsin say Hicks dumped the body of Douglas Bailey last year along a road in Bell County, Kentucky. Bailey's girlfriend, Rose Cooney, is accused of killing him. Cooney is charged with intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. 2 men convicted of murdering a Lexington man 30 years ago are up for parole. Clarence Jones was found guilty in the 1986 robbery and murder of Clay Nelson at Columbia Steakhouse. Eric Hayden was also convicted in the case. Yesterday, Nelson's family addressed the parole board asking for both Jones and Hayden to stay in prison.
State police are trying to piece together what led up to a deadly crash yesterday afternoon in Bath County. The coroner says 51-year-old Alan Conway of Owingsville lost control on Kentucky 36. His vehicle went off the road and hit a utility pole. The coroner pronounced Conway dead at the scene. No one else was in the vehicle. Friends and co-workers are remembering a local cardiologist who was killed while riding his bicycle over this last weekend. The Bourbon County coroner says Dr. David Cassidy was hit by an SUV while he was riding his bicycle Sunday on Lexington Road in Paris. Cassidy died at the scene. State police are calling the crash an accident. Cassidy's friends say he was an avid cyclist.
I don't recall very often when he was home that he wasn't working in the yard or planning some kind of event. He's just a very energetic person to be around. He's a great neighbor and a great friend to have.
Millward Funeral Home is handling the arrangements for Cassidy. A date and time for his funeral service has not been finalized.
A Southern Kentucky man convicted of murder for a deadly crash has been released from prison. Earlier this year, a Laurel County judge sentenced Justin Weebles to 20 years in prison. Police say he caused a crash that killed Jerry Thompson in June 2014. Weebles has filed an appeal with the Kentucky Supreme Court. And while the case is on appeal, a judge is allowing Thompson out on bond. The judge says he cannot talk about the decision, but Thompson's family says they feel like they are fighting for justice again.
I think the jury should just be done away with because it's a farce. What they say doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That jury might as well not have been there.
The judge does say it is common for murder cases with 20-year sentences to be automatically appealed to the state's high court. The prosecutor says Weebles will be on home incarceration until the court decides his case.
A grand jury will hear the case of a Southern Kentucky man who's accused of hitting and killing a man last week. Williamsburg police say Adam Childress drove drunk on US 25, ran off of the road, and hit a man who was walking on the sidewalk. The walker, Richard Perkins, died at the scene. Childress is charged with murder. Williamsburg's mayor tells us Childress had just started working for the city's sanitation department. Childress used to work at the Whitley County Jail. And the case against a Jessamine County babysitter accused of abusing a baby has been waived to a grand jury. Police say Erin Thompson was caring for the 4-month-old at her home when the child was injured. A doctor at UK Hospital says Kylie Joe had skull fractures and brain swelling. Yesterday's hearing didn't last long, but Kylie Joe's family says it was still important to them, and the family vows to be at each and every court proceeding moving forward.
It's important that she knows that somebody's there for Kylie, that, you know, no matter what, even if there's 2 words spoken, we're going to be there to hear it.
Kylie Joe's family says she is improving. She was moved from UK Medical Center to Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation, and there she will start her therapy.
A Perry County doctor and his wife have been found guilty on nearly 200 charges. A federal jury found Dr. James Ace Cheney and his wife Lisa guilty of charges. The two were convicted of drug distribution, healthcare fraud, and money laundering. Dr. Cheney was taken into custody. His wife was given time to arrange family obligations. The two will be sentenced in August. Now, some of the convictions carry sentences of up to 20 years in prison. The federal government has filed a motion to dismiss a bribery charge against a former state employee. Tim Longmire is accused of taking thousands of dollars in kickbacks while he was the head of the state personnel cabinet. The government says they plan to file an alternate charge. No word yet on what that charge will be.
Yesterday, dozens of Kentuckians were among the thousands of people who ran to the Boston Marathon. This year's race was just 3 years after the deadly bombings at the Boston Marathon. WKYT Sean Moody talked to 2 Lexington runners.
For the people out there on the streets of Boston, this isn't just a race.
For me, it's a pretty big deal. Boston's not just about the run, it's about many, many things.
Veronica Ensminger is a Lexington police officer and a national coach with Team Hoyt.
You know, I see family and I see everybody else from Team Hoyt. And really, like, that whole way, when somebody sees that Team Hoyt jersey that I'm wearing, they yell, you know, go Hoyt, go Team Hoyt. And it really gives you that extra motivation and drive. Like, you know, if something hurts, at least I have the ability to be out here.
She finished in a little over 3 hours, along with runners from across the country that she's been coaching for months.
Oh, it's awesome. That's what we're sitting here doing, congratulating everybody.
Josh Nadzum had a rough day.
I gave it everything I had. I really started to struggle around mile 13. And then my attitude became, okay, just finish it, even if you have to walk a little bit.
We've profiled him before. He was running to raise money for Greenhouse 17, a domestic violence shelter here in central Kentucky. He's been struggling with back issues for the past few weeks.
I checked in at a medical tent at mile 19, but then I told him, no, I'm just going to finish it. And then I got to mile 20, and that was all she wrote. And so many people had rallied behind me and told me that they were going to be watching and told me they were going to be following me. And so that was really weighing on me after I stopped at mile 20. I just kind of felt like, man, I hope I didn't let anybody down.
Even though Josh did not cross the finish line, he surpassed his fundraising goal, bringing in nearly $3,000. That amount is nearly triple what Josh had initially set out to try to raise. So did some good, no doubt about that. Yeah. Time this morning is 4:40. It's 20 before 5. WKYT this morning is just getting started.
1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness sometime this year. Moms Every Day share some prevention tips when we come back on WKYT this morning.
And looking at those temperatures out and about, they feel pretty good this morning. Afternoon's going to be another warm day. When does the rain move on in, though? I'll have that in your forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're looking across the region, and we're seeing a system back toward the west. And this system back toward the west, all it's going to do for us today is increase that warm air back into the forecast. So we're really going to see those summer temps again for today and really the next few days. That takes you off into more right around 80 degrees, and then we're going to see that continue to travel off and downgrade as we travel into your Thursday and Friday, because not because of warm air moving on out, is because of some rain sliding on in with that system. Temperatures are in the 50s early this morning, a couple of 40s sprinkled in here and there, but it actually feels much better than yesterday morning. 55 now in Lexington, 55 in Richmond. As you're walking out the door there in Rockcastle County, then make your way back toward Lincoln County and also Somerset and Pulaski County, holding on to the 50s. Jackson coming in again at 64 degrees, and then go down the Mountain Parkway through your Powell, Wolf, and also making your way all the way to Magoffin County, holding on to temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We get into your afternoon, a few more clouds than yesterday and the day before. We'll be at 82 degrees, a pretty decent feel. I say decent because of this. It's a little warm outside, and there's always, unless it's 70 to about 78, 79 degrees, other than that, it's a little on the cool side or it's a little warm. We have something to whine about with all this weather, right? But, you know, all in all, it's just an awesome stretch we've had. Going off into the evening hours, another evening where you can sit out on the back porch and enjoy a nice little hamburger or hot dog, whatever it may be. Dinner on the back porch is a good idea at 75 degrees there by 8 p.m. Then we hit tomorrow morning back in the 50s. But then tomorrow is going to be a little bit different. Here's what's going to happen. We get into your afternoon, we'll be in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. So some of us will actually reach 80 degrees, some of us will not. Nonetheless, it will feel fantastic. Then we're looking for that small rain chance in towards your afternoon. It's a small chance tomorrow. Not many people will actually see it. Heading off towards your Thursday, temperatures, yeah, look at these temperatures taking a hit because of that rain moving on in. And we'll have a pretty good chance of rain there on Thursday. As you can see, those temperatures about 10 degrees cooler because of that rain sliding on in on Thursday. Friday, there's a rain chance. None of this is heavy rain. It's going to be very spotty. Not everybody will see that, but we need the rain. We kind of need it around here as things are getting a little bit dry. But it's going to be that Thursday, Friday time frame still looking like that. And once it moves out, hey, the weekend looks pretty good. Saturday and Sunday, have no issues with that. 70s and sunny. Gotta love it.
And no whining over the weather.
No whining over the weather. No, I know.
We'll make a deal. Thank you. It is 4:46 right now. Food poisoning affects millions of Americans every year.
Moms Every Day has some tips to help keep you and your family healthy.
So Jen, we just got back from the grocery store. Can we talk about what we do now once we've gotten home with our meat and poultry, because this is probably the most important part?
Yes, well, I think food safety is really important because 1 in 6 of us as Americans will get foodborne illness sometime this year. And it starts with bringing that food home. Right. So even, you have your reusable bags, make sure you're washing them and keeping them clean, because there's been a study, or multiple studies that have looked at that and shown that lots of bacteria live in these bags. Once you've got your food home and properly stored, it really comes down to 4 key things that you can do to keep your food safe. And the first one is washing your hands. So even bringing that food home and putting it in the refrigerator, your hands are already contaminated. And anytime I handle meat, I always use paper towels instead of a towel, because you can always transfer bacteria if you're just using a towel. So the second tip that I have would be to keep things separate. And that would be, especially when you're preparing your meats and your poultry, you want to have a separate cutting board for raw meat, and you want to have a separate cutting board for cooked meat. Also really important to make sure you get cutting boards that are dishwasher safe. and not using wood cutting boards. And the third thing would then be using a meat thermometer and making sure it gets cooked to the proper temperature. You can eliminate all bacteria in your raw meats by getting things to the right temperature.
These are fantastic food safety tips that every home cook should be following in their kitchen.
Good stuff to know there. For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com and click on Moms Every Day.
And of course, we have all the latest news and weather there for you as well. Great to have you along with us this morning. 4:48 is our time.
Some Kentucky football fans will get to tailgate in comfort this fall. More on the new luxury tailgating suites when we come back. Look at that. Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 4:50. The crucial New York presidential primary is today.
Both frontrunners, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, are counting on their hometown ties to put them in the winning column. Weijia Jiang reports from New York City.
Hillary Clinton is counting on a win in her adopted home state of New York to regain momentum. She's lost 7 straight contests to the Brooklyn-born Bernie Sanders.
We're going to work hard. We're going to do everything we can between now and 9 p.m. tomorrow night when the polls close.
Clinton has a 10-point lead over Sanders in the latest CBS News poll.
I never count any chickens before they hatch.
But Sanders has come from behind before. He won the Michigan primary despite Clinton's double-digit lead in the polls.
If we get a large voter turnout tomorrow, we're going to win here in New York.
Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has more support in his native New York than Cruz and Kasich combined. Political analysts say he needs to win big here and in several more states to secure the GOP nomination before the convention.
New York is looking great, but you got to go and vote.
Ted Cruz warns if Trump is nominated, it will be a bloodbath for the GOP in November.
Nominating Donald Trump hands the election to Hillary Clinton.
2012 Republican nominee Mitt Romney says Cruz and Kasich split the vote, and one of them must drop out to stop Trump from locking up the nomination. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, New York.
And Trump campaign sources confirmed to CBS News that the New York businessman is shaking up his team. Trump is putting some new hires in charge of operations in the upcoming states, and they plan to spend more money on advertising.
The state will pay Kentucky's 2 largest newspapers thousands to settle a lawsuit filed over the release of documents. The documents are for cases about children who have died or been injured from neglect or abuse. The newspapers say they were denied access to records for a case in 2009 and 2011. A judge ruled the papers had the right to review the records. Our partners at the Herald-Leader report the state will pay them and the Courier-Journal $250,000. You can read more about this story on WKYT.com.
All right, talk about partying in style, right? The Kentucky football fans will be able to tailgate in high style this coming season.
This does look like a lot of fun. The 1865 Club will open this fall featuring luxury tailgating suites that can fit up to 30 guests. Each private suite will have a kitchen, 4 HD TVs, heat and air, a full-size refrigerator, and a bathroom. Standard tailgating food and drinks are included with the rentals, which last for about 12 hours. Game tickets are not included. It'd be nice to have a bathroom while you're tailgating without using the porta potty, right?
And air conditioning.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks fancy.
Heat when it's cold.
Better than standing around a pot of chili in the parking lot, right?
You don't like that, I take it.
Well, I mean, you know, it depends. You'd see more people that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this morning.
And we'll have another look at your morning forecast coming up.
4:57 in the morning at the start of another beautiful day in Kentucky, huh?
Sometimes I can't believe we're up this early. Do you ever think that to yourself?
Well, yeah, sometimes when you see the time, it's like, am I really saying
I know. It's
but
like,
you know,
oh my goodness.
And until I did this shift, I told somebody, I said, I never knew that 5 o'clock came twice a day. You know?
It's so true.
Let's check in with Micah.
Goodness.
Good morning.
There is a lot of truth to that. Yeah, I can piggyback on top of that, too. 54 degrees there in Lexington. It's a good feel as you step out the door this morning. By the afternoon, here we go again. We're talking about 80s back in the forecast. Very warm conditions at 82 degrees. Still no rain chance today. But those rain chances do pick up as we slide throughout the rest of your work week. I'm going to have that with the 2 hours WKYT News, just a couple of minutes.